together by Anna at Just Making It Work. I'm going to link Just Making It Work channel below, and when I get the playlist I'll either link it below or put it in the comments. And I was drawn to this collab because it's called How to Minimise Feeling Overwhelmed in Your Homeschool. It's acknowledging the fact that there will be times that you will feel overwhelmed, that everything's not always perfect and you can't avoid feeling overwhelmed totally. Because I like to be realistic. There will be times you'll feel overwhelmed, there will be times you'll be but that's the same with anything you're doing in life. It doesn't mean you're not cut out to homeschool. So I've got 4 things here, ways that can help you minimise feeling overwhelmed. But before I start, if you're new here, my name's Victoria. I'm a home educating mum of 4, soon to be 5. So soon there'll be newborn baby spam all over my channel. In England, I do homeschool family vlogs. Pregnancy updates at the minute, but like I say, fairly soon it'll be newborn baby spam. And a gardening collaboration that runs once a month between March and October. Anywho, so my first one is be flexible. Because I'm one of them people, I like to do what I'm saying. I like to do what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it. And if my plans are scuppered, I feel dead frustrated. So you have to kind of let go of that and let go of perfection and accept that sometimes things are not going to work out the way you planned them. Especially if you've got little children and things happen. Just be flexible. You know, it doesn't matter if you don't get everything on that to-do list done that day. It doesn't matter if you end up throwing the towel in and doing something else completely different, because that's the way your children's attitudes go in that day. Just be flexible with it. Homeschool is a full-on business. There's time to do whatever it was you planned to do at another time when they're more receptive to it, or the weather's different or whatever. So just be a bit flexible where you can. That'll help stop you being overwhelmed. Let it go. What I showed you. The second one is be organised. People are laughing at this. I've said this because of the state of my house, but there's different levels of being organised. People have different levels of what suits them. I mean, to me, being organised for me is knowing the core things that we do, like their independent reading, what workbook they're on at the minute, things like that. Having them easy to hand where I know where they are. And having like a rough idea of when we're going to do it. But for other people, being organised is laying everything out the night before, so it's all there in the morning. They can just go to it without being off-footed because they don't know where things are, or even for other people it's having some kind of chart, so the children know what they're doing when they're doing it. But whatever level of organisation you are, whether it's scatty like me or highly organised, whatever level suits you best, it does help, I think. I mean, if you've got the kids ready and then you waste lots of time trying to find random things which you don't know where they are, and by the time you find them it's gonna make you overwhelmed. So just try and keep a level of organisation, even if it's just you know where things are. The third one is home. The most important part of homeschooling or home education is the home part. So just bear that in mind. It doesn't have to run like a school. It doesn't have to run like a well-oiled ship or whatever. The most important part is that relationship that you're building with you and your children, and the home part of it. So don't feel overwhelmed by wrongly thinking the school part's the most important part of it, because you're never ever gonna be like a public school, because you're not a school. Just make sure the home bit is right, and the rest it will follow, or the rest just adds on to that. And the last one is be kind to yourself. And know what's going to trigger you. If, for instance, you're not very well, or something's cracked off that's upset you, and you're in a highly emotional place, don't expect you to be running on 4 cylinders as a home educator. Be kind to yourself. If you need to take a break, or you need to run at a slower pace, or reject what your plans were entirely and do some life learning or just play instead, then do that. Remember, you're a person, you're not a machine. And remember that keeping yourself sane and from getting overwhelmed is probably one of the most important parts, because if you, I always say this, you're captain at ship. If you go down, the rest on it goes down. Be kind to yourself. Don't have all these expectations on you that you're not going to fit, you're not going to meet, or don't compare yourself to other people. I follow quite a few homeschool channels, home education channels on YouTube, but the same ones keep popping up on my YouTube, you know, on the algorithm. So I've been trying to find new channels, but a lot of them, they present it as perfect and glossy and mega organised, and one, I can't relate to it, and 2, that's just going to make me feel bad and under par. So I've not subscribed to any of them. But what I mean is, I recognise that that's going to make me think, oh, I'm not doing a good enough job, so I'm staying away from it. So be kind to yourself. If anything's stopping you being happy or thinking you're doing a good enough job, then stay away from it. Be kind to yourself. It's not a very long one, this one, but I hope what I've said is helpful. I've got really bad procrastination. I'm surprised I got through this, frankly. I've been sat at the table moaning. My husband's sorting. We've got a homeschool cupboard in the kitchen, and it's like overflowed onto the top of the fridge and the top of the freezer. So the husband's on his hands and knees cleaning out this cupboard, going, do you really need this? Do you really need that? Do you really need that? And I was sat at the table going, oh, I'm a Braxton Nix. And then I says, oh, it's that collab tomorrow, I need to film it. So do check out the playlist. Do check out the playlist. There might be folk who've said a lot more helpful things than me.